What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to the Anime Plus podcast. This is your podcast for everything anime and anime related. And yo, today we're talking about Blue Lock, bro. But if this is your first time here, I'm your boy Aray, and I'm with my co-host Owen. Owen, bro, how you doing, bro?
Bro, I'm doing amazing, bro. I'm hyped to get into this. Blue Lock is one of my favorite series of all time now.
Damn.
100%, bro. Like it's just that good of a show. And then also the fact that I'm not a freaking sports anime fan, right? Makes it even better, in my opinion.
Nah, that's
Like,
crazy, bro, because you said all time, bro.
yeah, all time. Like definitely in my top 10 for a fact. It's not even a question, you know? How would you rate it? Rank it?
Dude, so I have like a weird situation. Like I watched so many sports anime. I probably watched like 30 at this point, bro. And it's definitely one of the most unique ones. And I always talk about how unique it is compared to some of the typical coming of age. You know, you go to high school, you want to get to coaching the nationals. That's like a typical subplot for a lot of sports anime. And this one is very different. We've talked about this a million times, so I'm not gonna go too crazy about it, but this has a whole battle royale sense where it's do or die. It's you versus the world type shit. It's very different than teamwork is the dream work type shit that we usually get from sports anime, and that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. But even with that being said, I would say it's a top five sports anime for me, but it's not my favorite. Maybe,
Hey, what are you saying this because it's like a nostalgia factor on the other ones or what?
yeah. I just never played soccer in real life. The other ones I've played those sports, so those ones hit more home. That makes more sense.
So Kuroko's basketball, you like that better, I'm assuming?
I actually don't like Kuroko's basket, to be honest.
What about that baseball one you love?
That's probably my favorite, Ace of Diamond.
Ace of Diamond. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know. For me, it's like I I would compare this more to Squid Games than I'm comparing it. What'd you compare it to? Battle
Yeah.
Royale?
No, I would say it's more like a battle, like what do we call it? Fortnite, like battle royale.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
think
like
it's more so.
it has such like a Squid Games type of vibe to me. Like obviously not in the fact that you know that they're playing for I mean they are playing for something, right? In there they're playing for the win, right? In like Blue Lock you're playing for the win, you're playing for becoming the best egoist possible.
Mhm.
Over here, over in Squid Game they were playing for the money. It was just different concept, same thing, kind of.
So one thing I like about this particular season is it's very different than the first season.
Yeah, completely. And like um last season we were kind of just introduced to like whoever was in Blue Lock. Like there was a lot of different game modes, like 1v1, 2v2, target practice, or like all of these type of game modes. But this kind of showed, first of all, it brought in a whole new set of characters, right, that were from Blue Lock. And then secondly, it showed us what's to come, right, in terms of um Psy and like the under 19, under 20, under 21, players. That's a caliber of players they're gonna be versing at all times. But instead of versing, the under 21, they're basically gonna be versing five Itoshi size. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It gave us a good glimpse of what's to come, and then it also like it was a sick ass match, bro. That match was sick.
So let me just preface this by saying I've already read all the manga. I'm up to date, so I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to try keeping this anime only, but I will kind of hint you to a certain direction for some of the things. But let's start off with this. So the first season is obviously them playing other quote unquote high school dropouts, like ones that weren't able to get to the next level, like a professional level. We'll call them failures just for the sake of argument. But we saw that. Second season, you see them not really world class, but versus the best of Japan, the best under 20 players of Japan, right? And,
Exactly.
like, this is where we're going to kind of hit you a little bit. Obviously, the next stage above that is going to be international players. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
So we saw a little bit glimpse of that in the last episode when they saw all the TVs lined up and you see um Jin, like the manager of Blue Lock, kind of talking to all the people. It's like, are they ready to bring Blue Lock to the world? You know what I mean? So you kind of see where that's going. Again, I'm not trying to spoil it for you, but obviously that kind of hints at worldwide. And then we did get to see a taste of them too in the first season, where we saw like Loki, we saw some of the other five top talented players. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that episode within itself was insane, bro. We got the Mbappe guy that was like insane, and like everybody had the thing right here, right? Also, another thing that we got to take into account is that all these guys are going for that striker position, but what we've realized is they can actually branch out into a lot more different positions because, just for example, um, Gekam Gekamaru,
Gagamaru, yeah.
like he's he's an elite goalie, bro. More than he is a freaking striker. So I want to see how that stuff plays out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Then
mean, you'll see it a lot more in the next upcoming season. Again, I'm not trying to spoil it for you, but it's kind of cool to see. The first season was all about finding your ego as a striker, and then this season I feel like was more about finding your ego as a player. Like what drives you to become a player. Obviously, there's still players that want to be solely strikers, but then you see some players that are like, in order for me to survive as a soccer player, I need to become this or I need to do that. You know what I mean?
exactly, exactly. One thing I do want to go over kind of is everybody's like kind of role, right? And how they grew within this this season. So one thing is like one person that I want to like address in this scenario. Do you want to start off like that?
Yeah, we could start that way, and then obviously we're going to talk about the last episode because that drew attention everywhere
Yeah,
on that. But yeah, go ahead.
bro. Who's the guy with the purple hair?
Ray,
Rayo?
Ray.
Like Rayo, bro. At the end of last season, he was kind of depressed. You know, he was
Mhm.
one of these like he was like Nagi already passed him. Everybody that he was like kind of with kind of finessed him and like or like not finessed him, but like just surpassed him and like he was kind of left behind. And it got to a point where it wasn't really looking too bright for him, like as a whole. And he came in the game as a sub, and bam, bro, like he became the copycat ninja, aka Kakashi, right then and there. And like I think he'd be a really good defender.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. Like you see every. So one of the things we always talk about Blue Lock is every single character could be their own main character in this series. Obviously, for the sake of this series, it's Isagi, obviously. But in their own way, in their own respective ways, each of these characters could become their own main character. So in Rayo's case, you see him, he's on top of the world. He's got Nagi as not really his like follower, but more like a sidekick. He's his plaything, you know what I mean? He even refers to him as that. And then all of a sudden you see Nagi being infatuated with Isagi's play, and he kind of leaves Rayo. And now Rayo's down bad, like we talked about earlier. But then all of a sudden this season, you kind of see him evolve, change his mindset, and become what he is, the copycat ninja, bro. And from that point on, like, bro's up. You know what I mean? So each and every single character in the series basically goes through that, like a change that like not only to like their play style, but also to quote unquote their ego and just kind of the way they kind of work in this story. You know what I mean? So Rayo, I think, is a perfect example of that because he literally changed everything about his mentality and also about his play to be able to adapt and play in Blue Lock and play against the U20 team.
Exactly. Everybody had to kind of level up in a certain way. And some characters obviously less than others, but um everybody kind of had to level up to become something else, to become their next version, right? And um one aspect of about it is that flow state aspect.
Mm.
And we saw everybody go into like a flow state, and that's kind of where like if you didn't get into the flow state, you're pretty much clipped, right? One like the fact is that everybody from Blue Lock is probably gonna get recognition because they first of all they won.
Mm.
Second of all, like they're gonna get offers from work like everywhere, right? Um, not straight to a team per se for the guys that didn't really achieve too much, but this match was there to highlight Blue Lock's success and like to show that Blue Lock is something that first of all is going to create the best egoist or one of the best strikers in Japan or the best striker in Japan, but also um it's an opportunity for everybody, all those guys to get to the next level. So
Exactly. At the end of the day, the core goal of Blue Lock is to create a striker that will lead Japan to win a title. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So obviously, not every single one of these players will become that striker, but they're basically fighting against each other to become that player. You know what I mean? We saw it with the last episode uh, who we think it might be, but then also we see a bunch of different like flashes from other characters, which makes it really interesting because we don't know who it is. Like obviously we have a main character, but we don't know exactly who it is. Could be because it could honestly be anyone at this point. You know what I mean? So going back to your point where you were kind of talking about like all these different characters, like Rayo has his own way, but he's changing his position in a certain way. You know what I mean? So like maybe he's not in the running to become this guy, but he'll still end up with an offer. And just a small little spoiler to the next season, like that's basically what's going to happen in the next season.
yeah. I mean, I'm hyped for the next season. Next season is gonna it's gonna be even crazier because we're gonna get like the world building itself is gonna be insane. You know what I mean?
We
We have
know.
a whole yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead. Keep going.
We
But
have a whole like it's international, you know what I mean? So we're gonna get so many different types of people, and I'm super hyped for that. One thing I do want to kind of point out, I want to kind of uh go into like not the last scene yet because we'll talk about that later, but the wild cards of the game, right? We had fucking Barrow. Barrow, I don't know, he's a weird character because it doesn't feel like he would really do well with teammates, but I don't know. He did his own thing. He scored his own goal. Nagi, honestly, he didn't really improve too much. He was just a fucking demon.
yeah, he was just athletic and he had some crazy plays, but you're right.
Like he didn't really improve much. Rin, he got challenged heavily,
And
right? Isagi got challenged heavily, so um Isagi basically had to verse the main defender the whole time.
well, honestly, going back to your point about the flow state, only two characters went into the flow state in that series, in that episode.
It was that guy, the defender.
Well, I guess on Blue Lock I meant, sorry.
Yeah. The defender went in. Rin also got into his flow state, which was like his zombie mode bullshit.
Well, yo, let me explain that to you because they talk about it later on. They didn't really explain it this series, this season, but I'm gonna have to explain it to you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, bro. You ever see Michael Jordan stick out his tongue?
Yeah.
So the reason why is supposedly when you're in that flow state, when you're in the zone, quote unquote, your facial muscles kind of relax, which causes your tongue to seep out like that.
Really?
That's why my boy was going crazy, bro.
Wait, so Isagi didn't enter flow?
Well, it obviously that doesn't happen to every single person. It's more prominent in Rin, but that's the reason why bro's tongue was going crazy.
Yeah. Wait, but like, I don't know. I feel like I thought Baro also went into so-called flow.
I wouldn't say that he went to flow. Like
He
that was
just leveled up a little bit.
that was more of his ego, like kind of adapt.
Ah,
So honestly, just watching this like that, I think only Rin and the Aiko, the defender, went to their flow states.
yeah. I feel like Sai could have done more in that
So
battle.
again, I don't spoil, bro, but do you think Sai was 100%? Like, do you think he was actually trying?
Oh hell no. Oh hell no.
Okay,
Hell no. He was letting them play mostly. He wasn't even playing himself, you know what I mean?
right.
Like if he really wanted to, he could like let everybody pass to him and then he can
Yeah,
just score.
we saw it. The first goal that was scored was his own goal, but he decided to play a different position. He decided to become, I don't really know my position like that, but like the dude that would make the plays, the playmaker, I guess. I don't know, midfielder. I think that's what it's called. Instead
Yeah,
of playing as a striker, you know what I mean?
and he just started using the devil guy, the devil kid, as like a means to, you know, make those goals from that spot, basically.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. I don't want to spoil it too much, bro, but I feel the same way. But overall, bro, I wanted to ask you, man, what did you think of, firstly, what did you think of the match? Let's talk about that first.
Amazing, amazing match. The way they kept changing the score, as in one team was winning, next team was winning. Like it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? So that kept up the hype heavily. Honestly, I didn't think Blue Lock was gonna win. Real, like to keep it real, you know what I thought? I didn't think Blue Lock was gonna win. I thought the people in Blue Lock that really made a difference were still gonna be recognized, but
Yeah.
I did not think that a Blue Lock was gonna win. And no, that just made the it just made it even better, you know?
Yeah, I think part of it was the stakes were so high because this was their career, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. Exactly. But I felt like they were going to like because they were going to introduce so many new characters in the international the next season or whatever. I thought they were gonna actually kill off a lot of these, you know, um, these side characters per se. You know?
So let's talk about one thing real quick. So this U20 team is not that successful per se because we've seen them talk about how like, oh, Japan needs a change. Like, so yeah, they're the best players, quote unquote, of that are under 20, but also they're not the ideal championship level players, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So Ego, like the manager, and I guess the boss of Blue Lock, I don't really know what to call him. His whole goal is to create a different philosophy for Japanese soccer. You know what I mean? So that's why this U20 team, like, yes, they're international players in a way, but they're also not the winning international players, if that makes sense. So there is a whole new level to go to, which will obviously we're gonna see that in the next season. I'm not gonna spoil anything like that. But dude, I have another question for you real quick.
What's up,
All right, bro. What did you think of the animation? Because there's so much controversy when it comes to it.
bro? Look, bro. I'm one of these guys, one of the type of guys that just doesn't give a shit about animation, right? Firstly, so it's like bad to ask me that question. Secondly, um, bro, the way they animate it, they do it in a way where like you can understand. There's two types of animation. Then we talked about this before. There's an animation to like spark, like basically like a Demon Slayer, right? For example, like that type of animation is for hype, right? It's for the fight. It's for the epicness. Then there's also types of animation that's kind of just geared towards understanding something, right?
Mhm.
Like making it easier to understand. And I think they did a really good job allowing people that don't really watch soccer to understand how this all works. So I think it's fine. What were people saying?
So people were just clowning the animation. Like you would see like the dribble moves and it would look so not authentic, you know what I mean? It would be like it wasn't necessarily frame by frame. Like it wasn't like seven deadly frames, but like people wanted to see more out of the moves, like specifically Nagi's play, some of the Shido moves. You know what I mean? Like they made the art nice, like all the shadowing, all the effects, all the eye effects, and all that stuff. Like that looked good, but it was mostly like the fluidity of the animation. That's what people were really disappointed in, because obviously in this series there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah, bro. All I know is, first of all, show's hype. Second of all, can't wait for the next season. Third of all, bro, Blue Lock's top five, no cap.
I, you know, there was a rumor that this season was supposed to be a movie instead of like a whole season.
Bro, I still need to watch episode Nagi. Did you watch that?
I didn't, not yet.
Does it like is it like incorporated within a canon part of the story or not?
No, it's not canon.
Okay, so I mean, it's technically fine if we don't watch it, but I definitely do want to watch it. Um, but yeah, bro. Um, that last, you want to talk about that last scene?
Let's talk about the last episode in general. All right, first, I think let's get the elephant out of the room. Animation, bro. There was something that changed in the animation. I want to hear your thoughts, and I'll talk about like I'll go into detail. Like I got everything.
Like honestly, I told you the animation for me was perfect, and I don't, I'm just not someone that pays attention to it that much. So like,
But this one, even if you didn't pay attention, you would see the difference.
I saw it increase definitely from the last season. I
Yep.
don't know if that's what you're getting at.
No. I'm talking about this last episode.
I don't know. Is there a specific part that I'm
Yeah,
supposed
bro,
to know?
last goal, bro. You didn't
Huh?
see the animation, the last goal?
I don't remember it realistically.
So that whole scene where Rin versus Sai,
Oh shit, yeah. When they
okay.
were bringing in the past and stuff.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. I think it kind of reminded me of that like uh the One Piece like animation where
perfect, bro. So I kind of wanted to bounce off of that real quick. So hear me out. So if you notice, like the art, like the way the characters looked worse, but the fluidity of the animation was just absolutely insane, right?
yeah.
That's actually an art style called Kaganashi, and I was kind of researching this. So what Kaganashi is they get rid of the shadowing in the art, the artwork and stuff, and the animation. And the purpose for doing that is that the animators have more time to focus on making the animations. So, like a simple dribble move, like it might be frame by frame with the full artwork and the shadowing and all that stuff. But by reducing the shadowing and all that stuff, the animators have more time to make the fluidity look better. So that's why the whole last part looked insane, like the way they were like facing off with each other, um, and the way the goal worked and all that stuff. And while I was doing some research, apparently One Piece uses a lot of Kaganashi in the recent seasons. You saw it a lot with that one fight. In Wano. Like you saw that immensely there. You also see it in Naruto a little bit too. Like I don't know if you, I know you're not a big Naruto stan, but Naruto versus Sasuke when they were kids and they were
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Like
yeah
the graphics themselves, right? Start looking like
cartoony, right?
very cartoony and very like under detailed,
Mhm.
but the movement and the fluidity and like the the epicness you can say is like insane.
Exactly. That's what Kaganashi is. I should just do some like all right, this is crazy, bro. They were saying they hire people that are less talented or newcomers
Oh shit.
art because they don't focus on the artwork and all that, like the shadowing and all the details. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. They focus more on the like the fluidity, which is kind of cool.
What would you say that you like more? Like what aspect of it?
I like I like art and I don't mind bad animation, but there's like a limit to it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta give to take a little bit, but also like you can't give up too much. Like if it's like frame by frame, that's just terrible. But also like I enjoy like how some of the characters look like, with their glances, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I feel like once in a while I want to see that detailed artwork, you know what I mean? Maybe if they're just panning at a character, but I guess it's kind of hard to do because like you can't go from having that crazy animation, the fluidity, to just having a standstill detail artwork right after. Because like it's weird, you know what I mean? Like you can't just go back and forth. So I think it really just depends. And I mean, honestly, bro, it's up to the director to get that right. That's just me personally, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the animation. Like the way it's always been, I liked it. So I'm not really a good candidate to really speak about it, but definitely from the last season, it has improved heavily. So I
Oh,
will say that.
dying, bro. The
Oh,
first 7 or 8 episodes of this season, everyone's like, "Yo, Blue Lock second season is trash. The animation is trash. I'm never watching it. This anime is terrible." And then that last episode dropped, bro, and I could not escape it. It was everywhere on TikTok, and maybe that's just my algorithm, but everyone's like, "Yo, Blue Lock's fire, bro. This season is sick." You know what I mean? So it literally took one scene to change everyone's mind.
I think people care about the animation's a bit too much sometimes.
Fair.
That's just a me thing. You know what I mean?
I think me and you can agree the story was really good. Like the match was awesome, high stakes, everything. Like all the goals were awesome. And
Exactly. Everything worked so well, like the plot and characters and all that, to the point where like, yeah, like the animation could be bad, but there's so many other things that elevate this anime that the animation is not that big of a deal for me.
yeah, I know me and you both don't really care about the animation. All right, so now that we're done talking about the final scene and all that stuff, do you want to talk about like the final scene? There's a lot of shit that happened at the end.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling I know what you're talking about right now.
So firstly, Usagi's goal, bro. Like that shit was hype, bro. Like the whole stadium went quiet and then it went loud. That shit was fire. But what I really wanted to talk about is the statement he made and then what happened at the end of it, like the end credits.
Yeah, bro. Um, the end credits?
Yo, I told you to watch it. Don't tell me you didn't
Oh,
watch it.
I definitely watched it.
Okay. Okay. All right, we'll talk about that first. All right, real quick. We saw that scene where Rin and Isagi were talking a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, now they became rivals and whatnot.
So I like that. I like that they still have that pride and the ego to become the striker. So there's that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
But did you see the two characters at the end, bro? I feel like we gotta talk about that first.
I mean, I saw one character. I don't know. Wait, what second character? I know.
There's one character that made a comeback, and there was one character that you haven't seen before.
Oh, I mean, I definitely saw Kunigami.
Bro, Kunigami, bro, coming back. That shit was sick, bro. And bro was different.
Bro looked like he went through hell and back, you know?
Yeah, so they panned out and it said wild card, and you see him leaving a door that says that.
He always reminded me of that's the guy, the devil guy, you know?
You know?
Huh?
You know?
Yeah, exactly. He always reminded me of him. Um, but yeah, I think this is gonna be
All
it's
right, bro.
gonna be sick, bro, because he was one of the characters I really liked from the beginning, and he was always a pretty strong character. Like the fact that that other bitch guy made it, the one with like the guy with the like he's almost bald.
Oh, the monk,
Yeah. Like the fact that he made it
right?
and Kunigami didn't was kind of weird, you know?
So that guy made it because he partnered up with Shido, which we'll talk about Shido in a second. But um, first of all, we gotta talk about the Kunigamis. Have you seen any of them?
I have not.
So there's one where they show the Squid Games meme where it shows the main character quiet, like smiling in his picture, and they show Kunigami smiling, and then on the bottom they show him pissed off in his picture. Same thing with Kunigami, and that's the final scene that we get.
Bro, I can't wait for like Kunigami to like I want to see what happened. Like what happened, bro?
They actually haven't gone over that in the manga yet, but obviously you see Kunigami a lot more.
Like what Damn, they still haven't said anything in the manga for that?
I mean, they've referenced it, but they haven't really showed exactly what happened. But it's hype, bro.
And it also looked like I don't know, Kunigami looked like he was out for revenge, right? It didn't look like he was the same Kunigami that we saw in like season one. This Kunigami went through the trenches, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
maybe I saw. Look at the text message I just sent you. While you're doing that, bro, there's another meme that it's like, yo, bro went to go fight Aizen and came back.
oh nah, this is crazy. Yeah, literally, bro. Literally, this is exactly how it is. Like he was happy, he was like happy joyous in the
Oh, they
first season.
called him the hero, bro. That was his nickname.
Yeah, now in the second season, this guy's a whole different animal. You know what I mean? So
All right, so there's Kunigami. Obviously, that's gonna be next season, and then there's also the guy at the end they showed. That's Kaiser, bro. What'd you think about him? They showed the
who,
rose.
who's Kaiser?
So they showed him for a quick second, and he was like laughing. He's like, "Oh, Blue Lock, can't wait to face him." And that was pretty much it. That's all we really saw. It was
Or
kind of
like who is he? Like what is his role? Like what does he do?
you're gonna find out next season, bro. I'm not trying to spoil that, bro. But he's a
Damn. Damn.
great character.
Sheesh, bro. I mean, Blue Lock itself has given us like such a good second season, bro. I'm hyped for this third season. Do we have any timing or timeline on when it's gonna come out or anything like that?
They actually haven't even announced a new season, which I'm 90% sure that they will, like 95% sure, but they haven't announced anything yet.
Damn, yo.
And honestly, it took them quite a while to push out these 13 episodes.
Yeah, it really did, bro. It really did, but they announced it pretty quickly, bro. If you remember,
Last time, yeah. This time,
like,
I don't know what it is, bro, because here's the thing, bro. Blue Lock top 10 selling manga of literally 2024 and of 2023. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Even with that being said, like it took almost 2 years for a new season to come out with only 13 episodes. We'll call it lackluster animation in the beginning, which obviously made up for it. And trust me, where I am in the manga is plenty enough to make a whole new season, bro. But them not announcing it is a little bit disappointing for me, bro.
yeah, because they announced it pretty immediately. One like right after the first season of
Yeah.
Blue Lock. You know, like, how long do you think it's gonna take though?
I couldn't tell you, man. I really couldn't.
But yeah, bro, from a scale of 1 to 10, what are you ranking this season though?
I liked it, bro. Initially, so I did like a did I do like a top 10? No, I did a we had like our rankings, our community rankings for the fall season. And I had this one pretty low, and then I watched the last episode and I was like, fuck it, bro. This shit going all the way up. So it ended up like top four anime for me for that, or top three anime for that season for me. Um, and then I think I had rank 10 for the year of last year. We did anime of the year, which we'll do in the next episode. But I had that as my top 10. Oh, number 10, I think, or number nine for anime of the year.
I mean, definitely for me, it's one of the best animes I've watched.
Yeah. I think that whole last scene just honestly made the series so good, bro. Like that season so good.
Yeah, bro, you got me into sports anime now. We out here. A lot of us watched season 3 of Blue Lock. Squid Games just came out, kind of like, I don't know. It's like it's very similar to that. That's why.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Anything else you want to cover?
Um, Other than I'm excited for next season, and that next season is honestly, bro, like one thing I would do like is they just keep one upping every time. Like this first time the stakes were like like you're done, like you're playing normal high schoolers, you lose, you're out of soccer. Then the stakes are you're versing U20, bro. Like you're the best in your country. And then obviously, I'm not going to spoil it, but the stakes have risen again, and so has the competition. So that is one thing I do like with Blue Lock. And each format is different. Like the first format was like, we keep calling it Squid Games, but like the whole battle royale scene or situation, and then the whole against U20 match in front of people, and then obviously not going to spoil it, but what goes on in the next season. So trust me, bro, like if you like this season, you're gonna like the next season even more because it's just that much better. And honestly, bro, I know people don't love Isagi, they love other characters more, but Isagi becomes a dog in the next season. That's all I'm gonna say.
Damn, bro. One thing I will say is they haven't really made Isagi at all like OP.
Oh
He's
yeah, 100%, 100%.
he just barely makes it every single time. You know what I mean? And I mean that's kind of what keeps us on the edge of our seats as an audience.
Yo, actually, one thing I did want to ask you before we end this off is what do you think of Shido? Because he wasn't in first season at all.
Uh he was like a wild card type of player
They were
for
to him as Joker, bro. But did you like him? Did you think he was weird because some of the shit he was saying, or is he just like whatever?
yeah, he was a bit weird, but I did like his character generally. He was OP, kind of.
Yeah, no, like he's very weird, bro. But he's funny, bro. I like him. I like the way that he plays, even though like bro be doing too much sometimes. And
Dude was literally sucking off Itoshi's side.
hey yo, what my boy up to, bro?
Like actual sucking him off.
That shit was crazy, right?
Shit was wild, bro.
Yeah. All right, but I didn't even ask you, what would you rate this 1 through 10?
Bro. This is like a 9 through a 10 for me.
I can
You
respect.
already know I love uh this series as a whole.
Mhm.
Firstly, I love the series. And then secondly, like, bro, they did better than the first season this season. So I cannot complain. You know what I mean?
All right, bro. If you like it, bro, we hype, bro. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it, bro. Unless you got anything else to say.
I think that's it for today. And um I just want to say thank you for putting me on to Blue Lock
Got you, bro.
back way back when.
All right, bro. That's gonna be it for this episode. If you guys disagree and you guys want to roast us or for glazing the hell out of Blue Lock, join our Discord. Link is in the description of all our episodes. And then we'll have a conversation. We'll talk about it. Let me know what you guys didn't like, or let me know what you guys did like. Again, link of our Discord is in the description. But other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Hope you guys have a great week. Until then, peace.
Peace.